message, clear priorities, and not too much information are the keys.
Hello and welcome back everyone to another conversation with short, insightful discussions with CX leaders and innovators. Today's focus is using business and customer intelligence to drive conversions. I'm pleased to be joined by a member of one of my favorite retailers worldwide, and as an aspiring do-it-yourselfer, I don't believe you can see the poor paint job behind me, but I've admired Lowe's commitment, especially in the past 2 years, to safety and employee wellness during the pandemic. Really a top-notch organization. Today, though, we're joined by Marie-Helene Cusson, the brand marketing director out of Lowe's Canada, and a very dear old friend of mine, but it's an absolute pleasure to have you here, Marie-Helene, to tackle owning business and customer intelligence to drive conversions. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, great. It's, again, a pleasure to talk to you. It's been a little while, and
Yes.
I really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Pleasure is all ours. So how have you been the last 2 years? So much has changed, obviously, for tons going on.
It's been challenging, honestly, because we were considered as a business that didn't close. So we were super busy, but honestly, it was great time to be alive. I learned a lot. We learned also how the customer evolved during this crisis. So it was challenging, but honestly, it was also super interesting to live this. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone is stuck at home, bored,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Working on their house. And I know that for several home improvement retailers, this was a time of like incredible traffic attention, right? So you just feel like you're being pulled at in 100 different directions, I bet.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so Marie-Helene, I want to put you in the consumer seat. Have you had any memorable experiences as a consumer throughout the pandemic that you'd like to share?
Yes, I did, and it's gonna make you smile because I was shopping at Holt Renfrew,
Mhm.
and they were having a promotion, and I was wondering about the promotion. I had some sizing issue, and Holt Renfrew sells clothing that are a little bit expensive, so you don't want to make mistake when you buy online.
Right.
So I had tons of questions, and on the website at the bottom left there's a chat bubble that says you can connect with a store associate to help you shop online. So I clicked and I entered the question I had, and a couple of minutes, I think the overall discussion lasts maybe 5 minutes. I was connected to a store associate that helped me with my questions. I had a question on the sizing, on the promotion, and basically 5 minutes after, I bought online, and it was honestly was one of the best experience I had shopping online, and having that direct access to a store associate in that small amount of time was kind of really perfect to me.
And it was over video?
No, it was just by text, but it honestly was like super fast, and the person knew everything she had to tell me, and she was really honestly was enjoyable.
And most importantly, you did not return it, right?
I did not return
Okay.
it. That was the main thing behind it, is that if that bubble of chat was not available on their website, I would not have buy anything online because I was not confident enough to buy what I had in my basket.
Right. Absolutely. Interesting. Okay, good. So you're starting to use some new technology, some things that you hadn't used much as a shopper before, right?
Yes, exact.
Wonderful. So let's actually get right down to the topic of the day. Again, owning business and consumer intelligence to drive conversions. With that in mind, Marie-Helene, how are you structuring your team and aligning around common goals with that topic?
Yeah. So what I've learned in the past month is that if your priorities are not clear, it's not good, and you cannot focus on the right thing. So basically, if you don't give clear priorities to your team, they're gonna end up doing everything at the same time. Nothing's gonna be good. Nothing's gonna be like super well attached. So it creates more confusion. It creates less productivity, more silos, and more frustration. So at the end, you don't win with that. So I've also learned that even having more and too much information, too much data is not good at all, because people, when they have tons of data, they don't know where to look in and what's the insight. So you really need to find a balance. So you really need to know, okay, so first, here are your priorities, and here are what you need to look into as a data, and just let them like go and dig in it. So really clear message, clear priorities, and not too much information are the keys.
Yeah, having a focus, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And so where the next natural segue question is, what are your key sources for this BI and CI for your organization, and where is this flow coming from?
Yeah, so basically it's super simple. It's first party data, and we have our second and third party data, but we normally use all this data to create a story. So basically you have to ensure that when you look into the data, first it answers an objective, then you have a story, and then you have actionable insight that you can leverage and your team can work on. So all our campaigns right now that we produce are anchored into data. Okay. So if you listen carefully to all those various sources that you have from the first, third, and second and third party data, it tells you where you win, and it tells you where are your opportunities and biggest gap where you need to tackle more things on your side.
And do you have any sort of internal framework that you can share about how to triage and prioritize?
Yeah, so basically what we do is first we plan the year. Okay, so let's say we're gonna say we have our marketing calendars, and this year we're gonna have 7 big stories, and these stories are anchored in this data, and that's the reason why we're doing that. But after that, when the big overall planning is done, we dig into every story. We dig into our type of customer. We dig into the region. We dig, so for example, we're in Quebec, Ontario, we're nationwide, and the shoppers don't shop the same in the same way in all the provinces. There's ethnicity particularity in some regions. There's women also that needs to be targeted a different way than. There you have your pro customer, your DIY customer. So once you get all this data, you know all the people that are shopping, you know exactly how to communicate and what message needs to be in the market to drive that conversion.
Now, Marie-Helene, I know that your previous role, your brand marketing director now, your previous role was integrated marketing manager. And
yes.
One of your many responsibilities was the connection between our digital store or digital experience and the actual physical store.
Yeah.
Amongst Lowe's Canada and Renault Depot and et cetera. How are you applying these insights across both? Because especially during the pandemic, the digital became the first touch point for a lot of consumers, whereas they maybe used to go in the store, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first, to me, a physical store or your online store, it's the same at the end. So consumer might not shop the same way they shop online versus they shop in store. But at the end, physically or virtually, if they go and visit your brand, that means you have an opportunity to seize. That being said, though, there's a strong connection between the two the online and the in-store experience. So let's say that if I'm a customer that goes online, I'm going to go on a website, and most of the people are going to go on the website before going in store. So it's really important to have your website up to date and really running well, because he's going to look for product prices, availability. What's the store nearby that I can go in my next shopping trip? So this is what's driving. It's driven by online, but it's driving customer in your store. And the reverse is true also. So let's say you're going into store, but you have a project in mind. You want to ask question to your associate. You want to see, you want to feel, touch the product, test it. You're not sure. You're going online. You see your extended assortment online. Oh, there's that color. I didn't know it existed. So everything is connected. So you just need to make sure that in-store, online, stay connected.
Yeah.
You can use QR code for shopping experience when you're in store, and vice versa. You can drive your customer to talk to an associate in store if they have questions. So it's all a matter of understanding your big ecosystem and leverage the strength of every channel.
Now, Marie-Helene, about the store and going into the store, I was the type of shopper. My wife makes fun of me still at the onset of the pandemic, where I had a mask on, I had gloves on the shopping cart, so I wasn't touching the shopping cart.
Yeah.
Safety for me, and maybe in my household, I'm a little bit over the top, right? But some people
Yeah.
felt this way, and I'm sure
Yes.
I'm not alone. How did you, especially during when, because you're a necessary business, how
Yes.
were you able to use these insights to address concerns around safety?
Yeah, so basically, clear messages and communication to our customer was always the key. So we did add a survey to understand if our customer felt safe in our store because it was our number one priority. So with this feedback, we could scale and adjust some things, but at the end, we were doing already the right thing. So it confirmed that our customer were feeling safe in our store.
Mm.
But honestly, asking the customer is always the key because that's the most valuable insight you're gonna get. So clear message. We were sending emails to say that our store were safe. We were having paid media campaigns. We had signage in store on our website. So it's
Mm.
communication and honestly to take the pulse.
And was there any learnings that made you change or pivot what you were doing?
Uh, no, we well the fact is that we were actually really good, but what we wanted is we wanted to make their life easier. So
Mm.
we deployed new things that were not existing before. So the curbside pickup,
Okay.
the pickup scheduler. So we wanted to provide tools to help the customer when they are planning their trip to stores. They don't spend too much time outside because it was stressful. Like you said, so people were scared.
Hmm.
So we wanted to limit the interaction, limit the time they were out, and provide the right tools so they can feel comfortable coming into our store.
Excellent. So, what's the next step for evolution with BI and CI and optimizing experiences?
Yes. So, well, to me, BI and CI is what helps you build the overall plan, the overall strategy.
Mm.
So, without these insights, you don't really know anything. You can trust your feeling. You can do the things because you've always done it. But at the end, you can be 100% sure. So, you need to measure the success. You need to do postmortem. You need to
Mm.
dig into the data. You need to improve what you do. You need to scale. You need to learn. So basically, data starts a project, but
Mm.
data ends the project also. So there's two entry for data. So at the beginning, to collect everything that helps you build what you're
Yeah.
doing, but at the end, you measure your success and you do a postmortem. So you learn out of it and you make the next one successful.
Do you have anything? Is there anything still unknown that you're looking to get? Anything on your wish list?
Of course, there's ton to be not to dig into again, but right now on my wish list is just that everything. There's a lot of work that's done manually right now by my team
Mm.
and takes a lot of time. So everything that can automate reports, so my team can work and dig into that insight and provide feedback and recommendation. It's what I'm looking into right now. So really,
Mm.
the automatization, sorry, is key right now. So extract the report, but and the analyst can concentrate on doing their job and do the analysis of the data.
Wonderful. Okay. Any closing words of wisdom for someone who's paying attention? Ooh, and I kicked my camera. Go ahead.
Honestly, I think that customer centricity is really key to success. You need to listen. There's tons of data that exists from your just the sales, the seasonality, the basket size, the
Mm.
type of category, the cross. So just start looking at small pieces and it's going to help you understand your customer because at the end you just want to keep your customer engaged toward the brand, and if you listen to him and you show your emotion and you target him the right way, he's going to stay with you.
Wonderful. That was how to use business and customer intelligence to drive conversion. This is Marie-Helene Cusson of Lowe's Canada, brand marketing director, an old friend of mine. Absolute pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Terence.